Flosstube. I am Danielle and this is my channel Love and Stitchin'. This is a channel about cross stitch, and today I am here to share with you my third annual cross stitch ornament parade. And so I started this the first Christmas that I did that I had a Flosstube. I did an ornament parade, and that was pretty much just all of my ornaments from the past 20 years of stitching. I would say more towards the last 10 to 12 years of stitching I've started doing ornaments. I had a small collection at the time. Since then I have stitched a ridiculous amount of ornaments, and so I now have 3 ornament trees. One of them is 6 foot, and then I've got a 2 foot, and then I think the other one's like a 3.5 foot tree. They're not full yet. Maybe after today when I have the rest of my ornaments from this year, they will be full. But I've really just enjoyed stitching ornaments over the years, and I've started stitching them for my husband and for my kids. I've stitched a lot of them as gifts since my kids have been in pre-K. So back 3 or 4 years ago when my son started pre-K, I have stitched the Sled ornaments, and you'll see some of those today for their teachers. So generally I do 2 to 4 of those a year. I've got 4 today because my kids have 4 teachers, 2 each. And so that has been fun. So those ones have been gifted away. I've stitched them for especially the sleds. I've done several for my mom, and then a lot of nutcrackers for my sister-in-law who loves nutcrackers. So I really love ornaments. They're small, they're cute, and then you get a tree full of just handmade ornaments, which is fantastic. So today I'm here to share with you my 2023 finishes. I was stitching along with several of my stitchy friends, the goal to stitch 52 ornaments on Instagram, and I did not get that far. I think I got maybe 30 ornaments stitched, maybe. So maybe next year I can meet that. If you want to see some fantastic ornaments for someone who did meet the goal, there is Made by Michelle McGraw. She did meet the goal, and there's a few on Instagram as well that met the goal for stitching them, and they've shared them on their Instagram pages, which is really cool. So check those out for some great inspiration as well. I'm just going to kind of jump in to what I've got here. I've got a basket full of ornaments, and so we are going to get started. Hopefully I can remember who stitched them or who designed them and where they're from and everything like that. So I'm going to start with this one because it's on top. I had to re-glue this morning the bow because it had come off. So this is actually one of the 3 ornaments that I stitched for my husband this year. So he actually got 3. Each of my kids got 2. I tried to stitch 3 for each of them. I'm gonna do better next year, hopefully, for stitching 3 for each of them. But they each got 2 that are now fully finished. So this is a Prairie schooler. It was shared with me by Made by Michelle McGraw. She has also finished this one. It was from the, I want to say 1997 Just Cross Stitch Christmas ornament book. That was like their first ornament magazine that they did. It is finished on this little piece. It is from Hobby Lobby. It says Christmas 2021. So I'm gonna take the tag off tonight so I can hang it up for him. And he loves trains, and he actually told me the other night, he's like, "You've never stitched a train for me." And I was like, "Oh no, I have." And so I brought this one out. I was like, "It's just not on the tree yet because I've got to show it on Flosstube, and once it's on Flosstube, then I will hang it on the tree." So he'll be excited to be able to have this on the tree. So I just backed it with fabric, and then I think there's like a chicken or I don't know, something on here that I just covered it with, and I stitched it on, oh dear, 28 count mushroom lagana, I think, and with the called for colors because, you know, can't go wrong with Prairie schooler colors. So that's the first one for my husband. Let's see, this is by Pinker and Punkin Quilting on she's on Instagram, and then she has a website where she posts a whole bunch of amazing freebies. And I know there's a stitch along going on for 2023 for her houses because she's got these beautiful houses, salt box houses that she does. And so I think the goal is to stitch a certain number of them, maybe 6 of them. There's a hashtag, so go check it out as well. And she's got a ton to choose from, seasonal and everything like that. It's great. But this was one that she had posted for a Christmas ornament last year, and so I stitched it up because it's super cute. Have yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And this is finished on one of Chantel's from 141 Design Company's boards. It came in the ornament box last year. I didn't get this year's, but there's some amazing ones from this year as well. This is on 25 count coffee tea dyed Lugana that I actually dyed myself with a ribbon and just a little present. And I did put some rickrack just along the top and the bottom, just to give it a little something, because there wasn't enough room on the sides to do that as well. All right, we're down to 2, or are we done 2? All right, I'm gonna show these 2 because they are together and they're matchy-matchy for my daughters. So I have 2 daughters. One is almost 11 months at the end of the month, and the other is 4. So this one is for the baby. So her name is Madeline. We call her Maddie. And so this is a rocking horse. It is by JBW Designs. I can't remember the color that I used for this, but it's on my Instagram because I posted the floss with the finish. And it is by Classic Colorworks. And then this is my daughter. Her name is Mackenzie, but we call her Kenzie. And so there's a K and then an M, and it comes with an alpha. Oh no, I got the alphabet. Okay, so it says something else. The alphabet is on her website, and she put it on the chart where you can go to get the alphabet. So some people had put rocking horses, some people had put names, and they were at the bottom, but I decided because there was blank space in here to put their initials in there instead. So it's just a cute little rocking horse. And the way that I finished them was I sewed them into pillows. I didn't interface them. I like to interface when I do pillows. And then I do, because I'm not the greatest person at sewing, I do the open back and I stuff them that way. And then I've just cut out 2 little hearts. And I had some pins that a dear friend had sent me, charms. And so they each have a rocking horse and a 2023 charm on the back. And then the way that I did these, because again, I'm not very proficient, as I attached them up here with just these little cute little buttons. And I think these were actually from just another button company. They had a club last year and I only got the last one, the December or Christmassy club. And so they had these buttons that are just like little flowers and they're cute. So these are the 2 pillows for my daughters. And my 4-year-old was taking pictures this morning because she's ready to put her ornaments on the tree. Why can't I have my ornaments? I've got to show them first and then you can have them. All right, let's see. She's been in my box as well, so everything is kind of a mess. I'll show these 3 next. They're not 100% finished, but they're almost finished. My husband just has to put a place in them for me to put the ribbon for hanging. But these are for my husband, my daughter, and my son. And so we are big Super Mario fans in this house. We play Mario Kart together, and my son loves playing Super Mario and Super Mario Club, just all the things. And so that was our Halloween costume this year, was Super Mario. And so this is Toad. And if you know anything about Super Mario, there are the superstars in Super Mario. And I picked up these stars from, I want to say Hobby Lobby, and there was a pack of a bunch of them. And so I just stitched them or put them on there, and they didn't need any fabric. So he's going to drill a hole in there, and then I'll be able to hang them. And then we've got Mario. These are on 25 count, Vintage Country Mocha Lugana, and then Princess Peach. So my daughter's ready to put Princess Peach up on the tree. And then I think I used pretty much the called for colors. That was a pattern that was from Etsy, and I will try to link the shop below. This is one of the first ornaments that I stitched this year, and this is by Heart and Hand, and it is one of the I think December 25th, 25? I can't remember. And again, this is one of Chantel's boards from 141 Design Company. I think it came last year as well in the box. So I stitched it up as a round, or finished it as a round, and then put some green rickrack around, painted this red, and then the ribbon and a little deer up top. And I used my own colors mostly for this one. And it's on a 28 count, I don't remember the fabric, but it's on a 28 count. Super cute. I like this one a lot. And I had fun stitching them too. All right, this is another pillow finish. I had five pillow finishes, which was a bear because me and sewing, but I think they turned out actually pretty well. This is Have Yourself a Beachy Little Christmas. It was from one of the Just Cross Stitch ornament magazines for the Christmas. My husband absolutely loves the beach. That is his happy place. He was born in Daytona Beach, and we go to Destin, Florida every year. And so he loves it. So I stitched this one up with the called for colors. It is 2 different DMCs and like a tealy color on just a 28 count like white fabric that I had. I think I actually started this maybe when we were in Destin this year. And then I just added this bow up top. I kind of just whip stitched it in place at the top. And then on the back I did the same kind of finishing, but with 2 different pieces, and there's a turtle. He told me he wanted turtles, I think because I love turtles, in 2023. And then there's a turtle up top and in the center of the bow as well. So I love this one, it's so cute. And he likes it too, so that's what matters. All right, we'll just finish up the pillow finishes while we're here. This is for the second one for my little girl, baby Maddie. And so just a cute little baby's first Christmas. This was another one from a Just Cross Stitch Ornament magazine. I think I stitched it on like a pink 28 count that I had that just came from like a mystery pack that I had. And then these buttons are also from that same button pack from just another button company. And then I finished it pretty much the same on the back with a heart. And then there's a heart. I didn't have like a teddy bear heart charm, so I just did a heart charm in 2023. And I did the red twine, red and white twine, because I thought with the Santa hat it kind of matched. And then just matching fabric. I guess I can tell you the fabric. It's just general fabric that I found probably from Joann's, because that's where I get a lot of my fat quarter bundles or things like that. Okay, so this is there's 4 of them, but they're all the same. And this is a salvage. And so I had stitched along, I don't think it may have been 2022, could have been 2021. That cord strip had a Christmas design that was on black Monaco, and it was like different motifs, and just like 4 motifs. It's the same motif, but maybe like different colors. And there were 4 or 5 lines of them. And I fell off the bandwagon after week 1. I stitched it week 1, but I didn't stitch the rest of them. I had it sitting in my pile as I was going through kind of whips, and I realized I'm not going to finish this. So what can I do with it? So I decided I was going to try to salvage it, and these are definitely salvaged, but it's better than just having this piece sitting and doing nothing to have these 4 small ornaments at least, even though they're very imperfect. So this is what I did with them. So the stitched piece is the green and the, so this is ivy and holly, is that right? Mistletoe? Anyway, and so I found these little pieces that were from Hobby Lobby. They were all together, so I just finished them on round pieces, which was a bear, because what I had to do is I had to cut, so there's 4 of them. These are all 4 of them. I had to cut in between them, so I tried to do it evenly, and there was only like a 1/4 of an inch. Then it was like maybe 1/2 inch between each of them, so then I had like a 1/4 of an inch. And so it didn't fit on the full round circle when I was doing it. So that's why I then came up with the idea, okay, let's put some rickrack around it. So I did the rickrack, and you can still kind of see some where the glue is, and it's on the stitching, but I was never going to do anything else with this, so it's okay. And I just did these little bows, and then the mistletoe in the middle. So they will just hang on my tree, and there's 4 of them. All 4. But yeah, they were a pain to do. But they're done. I said I was going to finish my pillows, and I did not. Okay. 1 more pillow, but I have one to show. So this is the one that my mom stitched for my husband or I stitched it, she sewed it in 2011. So that's the year that we got married. And so this is from a book that I have that has a whole bunch of sports Santas in it. I got it from 123 Stitch. I don't know if they have it anymore. I don't think they do. But this is the football one that I stitched for my husband because he loves football. And then this year I stitched the one for my son. And I was worried about how it was going to turn out. So my mom actually sewed it. I think she may have hand sewn it. No, it's machine sewn, I think. Very, very close, as you can see, to it. So I actually left a little bit of a border just because I was really scared to do it. But I did get some of those heat erasing pins to where I could just kind of draw around it to where I know where I wanted to put it. And I think he actually didn't turn out too bad. My mom did sew him at the bottom together, whereas I did the open back. And because he's got the star here, I put the star on the back. Not a perfect star, but that's okay. And then a star and a 2023 charm. And then I actually sewed this in the ribbon end as well for the hanger. But I did actually have the same kind of quilted fabric. It was already like that I still had left over to do this one. So there are the 2 sports Santa, one for my son, one for my husband, and they are 12 years apart from having been stitched. Okay, now we're done with all the pillows. let's see what we got in this bag of goodies. I feel like my daughter, no. Yes, I have one missing. Oh, there it is. She was in this thing. I was like, where did she put it? Okay, so these were from Kate the Stitcher on Instagram, and she's got stamps that are on 123 Stitch, and she has a lot of other designs, but she did some freebies. I think these are now available to purchase though. So she did one mug a week for 6 weeks. I only stitched 2 of them right now. I've got a 3rd one that I want to stitch and finish, but this is how I finished them. So they're teeny tiny, just little mugs, and they're really cute. And so this is on a little deer head. I think I got this little piece from probably Dollar Tree and a pack of them. And so I just stitched them up and put them on there. I think I used called for colors or something close, and then painted the little piece white, and it's on 25 count vintage country mocha Lugana. Same thing for this one, except for this is on a tree, and then just a little ribbon at the bottom because these are supposed to be for like hanging and instead of doing that I did it this way, so it's got a hole at the bottom, so I decided to cover that up with a ribbon and then a little there's still some hot glue hanging, and then a little bell. So that is the finish. So they're cute, just teeny tiny cute little ornaments. They'll go with my little mistletoe ornaments. Okay, so next up we have my 2 Prairie Schoolers that I stitched from a Merry Making Mini this year. They are also, this is 28 count coffee tea dyed Monaco, called for colors, and here they are. So let's see. These are pieces that they're in a pack, and I think they're also from Hobby Lobby. And so I painted them red, and then I just attached the piece, no backing fabric, and then with 2 bows. The back bow is from Stitching with Housewives, and the front is just ribbon that I found from one of the local shops. And then candy canes in the middle because they both have candy cane sticks. So I think they're so cute. I want to stitch more of these and maybe finish them the same way because I do have more of these boards that I could put them on. But I liked that they were finished the same way, and that made it easier for trying to figure out, because when you go to stitch or finish 30 ornaments and you have not done any fully finishing of them, you have to go through all of your supplies and figure out how you're going to finish them. And it is great, but also mentally exhausting after you figure out how you're going to do all of them. Putting it together is fine, but like trying to match everything up together, and that's a lot. So maybe next year, I said this last year and I didn't do it. Maybe next year will be the year that I will be better about it. All right, I'm going to put all of my Stitching with the Housewives together, and we'll do them in just a minute. All right, so this is one of the first ones that I did this year. It is a freebie. I can't remember where it's from. I'll link it below. And Kristen Cow Stitcher had stitched it up, and she used a Classic Colorworks, not Really Tealy, maybe Really Tealy? No, I can't remember. And I loved it, and so I think the freebie called for like reds and greens and like your traditional Christmas colors, but I loved just the simplicity of one color and then the white for the snowman. And so I finished it on the snow. You can see I did lace it on the back-ish. I guess that's lacing. On the snow flake that I got, and it was another pack of a bunch from either Dollar Tree or Michael's or something like that. Finished it on a round. I stitched it on Storm, 20 count Storm, Lugana. Yeah, Lugana. And he's cute. And an easy finish. I didn't do anything else because I thought the snowflake kind of stood for itself. And then we've got another snowy one. This is Snow by Bent Creek. And just this teeny tiny square. And again, this was a snowflake, but this was a pack of 4 from Hobby Lobby. And it already had the buffalo check black and white on the back, and actually already had this ribbon as well, so I didn't do anything with the ribbon. I just stuck the piece on there and then added this little blue snowflake. And it is, the fabric is like a blue 27 count Linda, but it's from overseas, and so I can't remember. They do it by numbers rather than the like fabric name, and so it's a number that matches probably the DMC color that it was dyed with. So those are my two snow ones. I've got a winter tree that you'll see in the beginning, and so those will go on like the wintry tree that will stay up through January, maybe February. This is another Pinker and Punkin one. I wanted a quick finish, and so it's one of her Santa stamps, and he's super cute. This is finished on a little board from Hobby Lobby as well. I think they still have these in the ornaments, the Christmas section. It's from Christmas 2022, $3.99. However, I'm pretty sure they have some. And I think it says something like Christmas at the bottom, but it was just a perfect little fit to go on my farm tree that I've got a bunch of her pieces on as well. So that's also in the opening video. And just more, I love this ribbon, as you can tell. And it's because I use it on a few things. And then just a little reindeer in the middle. And 25 count vintage country mocha or coffee tea dyed. It might be that too. But it's 25 count, and then just reds and browns and DMC 310 and 3865, I think is what I use for that one. Super simple and quick. Okay, I've got three that I'm saving for last because they're like my favorites of all of them. This is Peekaboo Santa by the French Giraffe. She's got a whole bunch of 4x4 pieces that are so cute. This is on 28 count coffee tea dyed Monaco. Probably just a red that I liked, and I think it's like 8. It might be an 815 or 347. One of those reds that I use for DMC. The backing fabric is Stitching with the Housewives, their stripes. And then this piece is actually from Hobby Lobby. It comes in a pack of 4 in just a clear little box. And so all I did was put the piece on mounting board, put the fabric on mounting board, put them together, and put it on there. Nothing else. That's it. I love simple finishes that are also cute. And I don't do a whole lot of greenery on mine because I don't feel like I'm very good at it. But I love that this one has it because it's already done. And I didn't have to do it. So that is that cute little guy. Another cute Santa. All right, so for my teacher gifts this year, like I said, I do the sleds for the teacher. Sometimes I put them not on sleds. But because Hobby Lobby has their sleds that are like $2.49, so if you get it when it's 50% off, it's like $1.25 to do these little sleds. And then I just paint them or stain them whatever color that I'm doing. So I have 4 of these. All 4. So I'll just show one of them. This is from a just cross stitch, but it's not the ornament. It's 2020, like a December issue or something like that. And so there were 2 of them, but I did the snowflake because I've got a snow theme for their gifts. So I've got like a mug in there and some Bath and Body Works hand lotion and a towel that is snow themed. And my kids made little candy dishes for them that they're not snow themed, but it's the craft that they did at their Nana's house for their teacher gifts. So that'll go in there as well. So I like to do a little theme each year. I think one year I did gingerbread. One year I did reindeer. I'm trying to think of the other years. So I tried to find something that was all kind of matchy-matchy for their gifts. And so I painted this blue to match the blue that was in there. And then since there's 2 shades of green, I did found the green snowflake fabric or ribbon in my stash, and then just a snowflake in the middle. And now I'm going to put them in their teacher gifts, and they're going to give them to them on Thursday. So that'll be great to give them their gifts. So there are 4 of those. All right, we've got 7 left. I've not kept count of how many there are, but they're somewhere in the 30 range. So these are my 4 Stitching with the Housewives, right? Yes, 4 Stitching with the Housewives that I finished this year. So this is the first one, and it is one of the roundabouts. Santa's Tree Farm, probably. Sounds like a good name. And it is stitched on, or finished on a board from the Spring Shop at Hobby Lobby, and just like a little cutting board thing. And I used the Priscilla's checks, or Chelsea's checks in the back for the fabric with some roof crack around it, and then finished it on the round. And I stitched these on 28 count, I think it's 28 count, Glacier by Picture This Plus, and these are all stitched on that same fabric because I really liked this color this year for finishing them. And they all have the same ribbon, and so this is just a candy cane ribbon that I found, I think, at Hobby Lobby. And then this one has the wreath in the middle, and probably the call for colors on that one. All right, the next one is another one that they did this year, Santa and his reindeer, I think. So this is actually on a sled that was from, actually I think it is from, this one's from Hobby Lobby. Well, maybe not. It doesn't have the Hobby Lobby information. I think this one is from the cross-stitch shop that was in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, which is Dixie Darling. It was made for one of the Foxwood crossing pieces, but I've not stitched that one, and so I decided I was going to use it for this piece instead. So it's a sled, and he fits right on there with his fabric. And I didn't do any rickrack or anything. I just did the bow in there, and then I put some black and red twine up there to finish him off. Probably called for colors. All right. Since we did Santa, here is Mrs. Claus. And she, because this board, which is from, it was $1. And it has a nutcracker on the back. I don't know where it was from though. Dollar Tree maybe? No, not Dollar Tree. Dollar General maybe? I don't know. But it already had like all this greenery coming out, which I liked. So I just put it on there, and I thought that was great. And then it's just got a little gingerbread because it's Mrs. Claus and her gingerbread in the middle. So those are the two that go together. Because there's 3 more in the series, two more in the series. And then the freebie. And this is the freebie that came with the last one. And this is from, on a piece from Walmart. And it was 98 cents that I got for this board. And I think it was from the spring. Maybe, because I think it had like chickens and something on it. So I stitched this little guy up. It says Joy. It's on the same fabric with rickrack, same backing fabric as well, and the bow, and then just 2 candy canes. So that's the back of it. And so it just hangs. Another great simple finish. I love finishing things on like boards that make it easier to finish. All right, so this one I had a hard time figuring out what I wanted to do because it's big. So this is the Wee Santa 2023 from Heart and Hand. And it was the stitch along that Stitchy Friends did. And I stitched this on a weekend, most of it on a weekend where I was on a weekend trip to California. So lots of airplane and airport stitching. But it's a bigger piece. Even though I stitched it on 32 count, it was still a bigger piece. So I wasn't entirely sure how I wanted to finish it. I couldn't find a finishing board that I had. So I went with the tried and true Priscilla way with the 2 boards together. And this is my finish on him. So I did the green rickrack on the top for the hanger. And then the 2 boards together. And just 2 pieces of ribbon at the bottom. So I did the ribbon at the bottom on this one. And then a mistletoe in the middle. So that is the finish for my Wee Santa. And he is a bigger, I mean, he's a bigger ornament, but that's okay. I've got some bigger ones on there. And you gotta have, you know, different sizes. So that's that guy. We're down to my favorite 2. That was one of my top 3. Now we're down to my top 2. Okay, we'll show this one next. This is by Living on the Rainbow. And she is on Etsy. And she also has had several in Just Cross Stitch Ornament magazine. I love this one. I love how it turned out because I was not sure what I was going to put on the side. I had rickrack, I had cording, and nothing worked the way that I wanted it to. So this is Home for Christmas. It is a envelope, as you'll see, and it's 2-sided. And so you stitch both and then you put them together. And so this one, what I did was I did hot glue on each piece onto the mat board that I used, but then I also, so I hot glued them onto the mat board. But then when I went to put them together, I actually stitched them together, like whip stitched in here together because I wanted it to be a tighter fit. So you can see it's a pretty tight fit. And I felt like if I just hot glued the 2 pieces together, which there is hot glue in there together, but it needed to be tighter and more pulled together. And so I did whip stitch all the way around. So therefore I then needed to cover up the stitching on the edges, which that's part of the finishing. It needed something on the edges. But I found this, and I'm pretty sure this, whatever this is, I don't know, some sort of trim I got at Target last year, on clearance. And so it was like 50 cents for this little pack of this trim, and I still have, I think I got a couple of them. If they have more, I should probably go to Target and find out. So all I did was I put it around it and then tied it at the top. I think I put some pins in here too, which you can't see. So I hid some pins in there to help hold it all together, to make it a little bit stronger as well. But I just love how this turned out, because I thought, and my husband, it was so funny. I was showing him my finish, and he liked the finish, but he thought it was just really cute how, proud of myself I was for this finish. So I love it. And it's stitched on 25 count. This is Vintage Country Mocha. Probably mostly the called for colors that were on the pattern. So just show it again in all its glory. It's just so cute. There's more. She's got a bunch more. And so I do want to do some more. She had a new one come out. I think it said calories don't count for Christmas or something like that. It was really cute. Okay, so this is my last finish. I did attend the Jingle Ball, attend-ish. I got a whole bunch of patterns. It was my husband's birthday weekend, so there wasn't a whole lot of like being able to go and do things, because it was a very busy weekend. It was a big birthday for him too. So we had a lot of festivities at the house, did a lot of cooking. And so because it was the same weekend, but I did get the ticket. I did get a bunch of patterns, which I will eventually show in my haul on another video. And then this was a freebie though by Hands On Design. I showed my start, I think, on Instagram. I don't think I've shown my finish, but I did end up finishing it. It is on a 36 count. I can't remember. I need to write these things down. But I did finish it. So he is all finished. And it is on a board from Chantel's 141. Again, this one's actually a staple in her shop, so it's one of the sleds, but it came last year in the ornament box. And I changed up the colors. So I went with some lighter colors as far as like the red. I didn't go with the dark red. I wanted something lighter. So I think this is Clay Pot that I used for my red. And then just like a light green. I think everything else is pretty close to the called for. But I wanted it to be a little bit lighter. So then when I was going through my fabric to find some, I found this fabric. And it's got snowflakes on it. You can see the snowflake up there. That has the same coloring, and it was perfect. So I was very excited about that. And then this ribbon I thought matched really well too. And then I just did some blue rickrack as well. And because it's a sleigh, a little jingle bell in the middle. So this is my other favorite finish, because I love how the colors came together, the fabric, everything. So Hands On Design, this was her free design. I imagine she'll have it at some point. But it was one of her freebies for the Jingle Ball this year. And I love it. So that is 30-something-ish ornaments for this year. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I've got more stitching that I will hopefully be able to show soon. I'm going to try to do a whip parade by the end of the year. My husband's off of work, so hopefully I can get that in, but we've got a lot of things going on, as I'm sure everyone else does this time of year. It's very busy. So thank you guys for hanging out with me for a little while today, checking out the ornaments that I've finished this year. I had a lot of fun stitching them, a lot of fun finishing them. Maybe not as much on the finishing parts, especially since I put it off so long, but definitely on the stitching part. And I'm thrilled with how they turned out, and getting to now be able to go put them on my Christmas trees and enjoy them for the last 10 days of the month. So I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas and a great New Year if I don't see you before then. Hopefully there'll be a whip parade, but we'll see if I can get it in. This video is a little delayed as well, because I had some activities with my kids for their schools that I did not realize I was invited to, and so that delayed everything. But making memories with them is the most important thing, especially this time of year. So I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas, and I will see you next time.